Welcome to the Book of Records as I take you through the history of Kenyan leaders, achievements they made, where each page will have a story to tell. Their presence is felt, or it was felt, but due to some unavoidable circumstances, they left, and now their absence is felt. Today I'm glad to take you through the history of the short life history of Emilio Mwai Kibaki. This is the Book of Record. My name is Vincent Musungu. It has marked 3 years down the line since the country was in tears due to demise of its heartfelt hero Emilio Mwai Kibaki that was confirmed to the nation Kenya on 21st April the year 2022. The Kenyan third president who was regarded as a gentleman of Kenyan rough politics, Emilio Mwai Kibaki, discharged every bit of the auditing of a polished city man, head successful of academic trends. Great things were foretold of the young great economist Mwai Emilio Kibaki, who in the early 1960s was first plucked at Makerere University for Kanu's first executive officer, and later after the long walk, great things came on his way, where in the early 2002, Mwai Emilio Kibaki presidential pursuit looked complicated for the ruling party Kanu, for it appeared more stronger having swallowed Raila Odinga's NDP, so Mwai Kibaki needed to have intelligence in order to outsmart challengers to become the president in the year 2002.
It is now my greatest pleasure to introduce to you the next president of the Republic of Kenya.
Tulipoanza ilikuwa tu kwamba sisi tuliamini lazima tupate njia ya kuunganisha Wanakenya.
Kibaki's walk to the House of Hill began even before he knew it. The day he was appointed to serve in the government of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta is the day smell of the power hit Mwai Emilio Kibaki. But for the man who ruled Kenya for 10 years, life began in Othaya Gatuyani village, Nyeri County in November 15th of 1931 as the youngest child of Kibaki Kidinji and Teresia Wanjiku. He was later enrolled to school and acquired education up to university level, where he furthered to teaching position, to which he later opted out to pursue his dominant dream, joining the then dominant party KANU. He later faced complicated political matrix from the then rising KADU party by Ronald Ngala and Moi in the year 1960, which was formed with the name of protecting minority in Kenya.
I showed my own commitment because at that particular time, it was not relevant whether you are paid or not paid. We had to work very hard because we believed we were committed to the achievement of independence.
But in the year 1963, Mwai Emilio Kibaki contested for the Donholm seat and was appointed the parliamentary secretary to the treasury and later appointed as the Minister of Economic Planning and Development by late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta as an assistant minister of economic, but he later faced cracks from the opposition government.
Of the Customs Cooperation Council, which has convened today in Nairobi.
Kibaki was later promoted to a minister in the year 1963 for commerce and industry, literally taking over strong pillars of East Africa. However, in 1974, Kibaki shifted to his home constituency Othaya, Nyeri County, whereby Kibaki's tenure at a national treasury, he led the country, recording a tremendous growth, being termed as the best in Africa. He was later appointed as a vice president by Moi as a second president of Kenya, but in the year 1982, the attempted coup changed Moi forever, for he became more brutal. However, Kibaki was the most trusted by President Moi due to his portfolio. Later, he was dropped as a vice president in the year 1988 after an attempt to rig him out of Othaya constituency. However, it didn't succeed.
Mwai's way of running government was eventually he made the final decision himself. He rearranged his priorities. Before then, his approach to public.
During this time, the call for change against Mwai from Kenyans appeared more louder, but once a multi-party system was introduced in the year 1991, a move for initially opposed. Kibaki resigned, however, was criticized by Ford members for failing to join their party, but moving on to form his own party. Kibaki came third in the year 1992 multi-party election that saw Mwai secure 1.9 million votes, Kenneth Matiba as second with 1.4 million votes, while Kibaki over 1 million votes. But in the parliament, Kibaki continued shaping his political career in his bid to out Mwai in the power. After coming second in 1997 elections that saw Mwai emerging as a winner, he became the official leader of opposition in Kenya, but his quest for presidency remained alive till the year 2002 as he prepared for another stab. Kenyans were yearning for change, that even Kibaki's accident had no impact on his campaigns, and when he returned from treatment in London, the message was so clear. Emilio Mwai Kibaki was the only hope for the change. They yearned for, therefore sounding the change as inevitable.
Baada kwa bunge ya kuangusha serikali na kufanya uchaguzi mara moja.
That NAC will form the next government.
The change is inevitable. And I want to urge the KANU leadership to recognize that fact and to decide how it wishes to exit itself.
Captain na naibu wake walikuwa wamepata majeraha kwenye michezo. Wameingia kwenye kiwanja kama tayari zimeshafunga bao 2 kwa yai.
On December 30th, 2002 was literally a moment of national rebirth, and Kibaki also, for the country breathed afresh and hope engulfed the air, not only in Uhuru Park, Nairobi, but also the whole parts of the country, as Kibaki, Mwai Emilio, was handed the military ceremonial sword as the third president of Kenya.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba nitatenda kazi zangu za urais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kwa uaminifu
Kenyans were optimistic for the change they had been calling for. Till next time in our next page of Mwai Emilio Kibaki's life in rule of Kenya. My name is Vincent Musungu, Pekuzi TV, the book of records.